Welcome everyone to the Power in Your Voice podcast. I am your host, Linda, where we'll be talking about life experience and how it's meant to keep you moving. Often we get up and we mask our hurt and our pain. Yes, that's what I said, life experience. We all have them. So we're going to learn here to deal with our issues and achieve goals because every power has a story. Welcome back to the Power in Your Voice podcast. Hey, y'all, we have a big, tough topic here today that has affected us around the world. So I am so glad that you are tuned in today because I have some amazing men of God that we want to let our peoples, our country know that we yet still bleed with you. We still care. We still love. We still pray. And we want to honor all of those that was affected by this to let you know that we're still praying for you. All of those first responders, we salute you. And in the midst of that, we're going to be talking about 9/11. So I would like to introduce my husband, Pastor Daniel. I want you to know that my husband is a retiree of 22 and a half years of the military. Can you tell him hello today?
Hey, hello, podcast family.
Yes. And also I have my son, Wesley Poindexter. He is a father and a pastor as well. My son, Wes, he is a chief of the military of the Air Force family. So you're talking about talking to families that really knows what 9/11 means. So son, will you please say hello to him, Pastor West?
Hey, what's going on? What an honor to be on here today.
Thank you so much. You all, this is a tough topic because so many of us are still hurting from this day because we have to reflect. This has been 20 years since this happened in our life, and it has changed our world. I was even talking to my granddaughters and my grandson, and it talked about how small they were when this first happened, and now they're in their adulthood. Whenever you say 9/11, they reflect on the day that all of these things happened. So, Pastor Daniel, what was it like when they start talking about things had happened on September the 11th with all of the chaos that was going on, like it took over our world? What was it like?
Well, first, I was getting ready that morning for work, and all of a sudden I looked at the TV and they said America has been attacked. And all I could think about was, here I am, an American, and somebody, some country just infringe on our security. Some country just infringe on our peace of mind. Some country just came in and took away our freedom. And it felt like a knife went through my heart when all of a sudden they said, we have been attacked. And then the attacks that was taking place, it was nothing but mind-wrecking. And the thing about it, it was a sharp pierce to my heart just to think about our country coming under attack. So that's how it affected me that morning. And that's how it looked to me, like somebody just invaded our homes just next door.
Wow. Man, that means a lot. That means that you being a military man and understanding that someone had came in and invaded in our country. What was it like for you, Wes, Pastor West? What was it like for you on that day?
Honestly, I still remember that day very vividly. That I was a part of, we were stationed at McCord Air Force Base at the time, and I was a part of the Honor Guard. And we had a funeral that we had to go to that morning. And one of the things that we always have to do for the families was a 21 gun salute. So that morning we got up and we were getting ready to go out. And of course, everything was on the news and, they were trying to figure out what was going on. And I remember when we went to go draw weapons, to take, they wouldn't allow us to take our weapons because there was so much uncertainty and chaos that was going on, that they didn't allow us to take weapons out that day. So when we went to go perform those funeral honors for that veteran, unfortunately, we had to let the family know that due to the recent events of that day, we were unable to perform the 21 gun salute for them. So it was really surreal. Just not really knowing what was going on. It was really chaotic. There was all different types of reports on the news. We were watching. I remember when I got up, the first plane that had hit, and then we were watching. Everybody was glued to the TV, and then we actually saw the second plane actually impact that second tower. And then later there were reports of a second plane that hit or another plane that went into the Pentagon. And then there was the last plane that actually crashed in that field in Pennsylvania. So it was just a chaotic day. And like you said, we definitely keep those families in our prayers, and just keep them uplifted and encouraged as best we can.
Yes, well, you said something that is so significant because our world is in a place of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
We are even in today. We are dealing with the pandemic. So many things that are happening, the things that are happening in Afghanistan and, the bombing, so many things that are happening in our world that it is changing. 911 changed our world. My granddaughter said it changed the way we had to fly. It changed the way that we went into our security buildings. It changed everything about the American way of living. Pastor Daniel, as a man of the military of 22 and a half years, how did it affect you when we now have to be blocked off because we couldn't drive close to our building and we couldn't go into our hospital the way we used to go into our hospital? How did it actually change things in our whole world to you?
Well, for me, started my military career as security forces. To be honest, my heart went out for my country, and at that time, I had to make some decisions because I was ready to put country before family because of the attack and because of the things that happened. And all I could think about was myself and my siblings, because all 5 of us was in the military. And I'm like, how is this going to affect us? Not knowing whether all 5 of us going to be dispatched overseas, not knowing that. And then just seeing the way things changed. You're right, there was barriers put up. You couldn't park close to the buildings. But I understood it because of my background in the military. And I had to go back and really search myself and see, is this the reason now why I joined the military? Is this my faith? Is this what I'm going to do? Is something that they said in the upcoming weeks, we got to get ready to deploy? So it was a lot of things going on, even in my mind, of what sacrifices I would have to make, even for my country and for my family, because it affected me in a whole different way, which some ways I didn't even discuss with my family because I didn't know at what point, what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, and where would I be when we do it. So a lot of things did happen and a lot of things changed for me.
Yes, and that's talking about your military life, whether you had to pack your bags and go with
Correct.
the assignment that you have to go with every squadron. And so, that was very uncertain for all of us, the way things change. I have a granddaughter, Jada, on here. She's a younger lady. Jada, talk to me about what 9/11 means to you.
To me, when I see situations like that, because I'm in school right now and I'm learning about disasters around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it really, even though, life isn't perfect, we're going through coronavirus right now and so many other things. It makes me grateful for the life that I have and for the peace that we have now, because I was probably 5 when it happened, and I just can't imagine something like that happening, like all of that happening within one day. It's hard not to be affected by something like that.
Exactly. Jada was also a part of the military family. I also have my granddaughter Jalen on here. Jalen, let's talk about this 9/11.
I would just say 9/11 is one of the events that happened now 20 years ago this year today is the 20th year anniversary, and it has definitely changed the course of time. I would definitely say that the people who have been affected and have lost their lives in this event are gone but never forgotten. This event was more than just a day. It has affected each and every one of our lives. We appreciate all of the first responders and the civilians who took the time out to aid in rebuilding our nation, taking the time out to aid in those who were grieving, and just being available, because this was definitely unexpected. And honestly, even though this happened 20 years ago, you're still pretty speechless at what happened. So all you can really do is thank everyone who took the time out to help rebuild, and just pray that something like that doesn't happen to us again.
That is good, Jalen. Thank you. Davion, my grandson, Davion, do you have anything to say about 9/11?
Yeah, so I know that when it happened, I was so young. I don't even remember the day, but all I remember is there was one year when I was in high school, and me and Jalen were actually in the same class, and on 9/11 they had played a video, and when we saw that video and just the disaster that was happening, and with the way the building was and everything that was going on with the people, that day it hit something in me, because I realized how sad that really was and how scary it could have been for everyone who was even in that situation. And before that, I didn't really understand it. But when I saw that video, when I saw everything that was going on, and people probably really did not know what to do, it really hit home for me. So, it's just one of those things where, our kids, they'll even know what happened on 9/11 just because of how significant that day was.
Yes, thank you, David Young. My granddaughter, Tiara, I call her Chocolate Drop, you all. She brought up that something that was so powerful, and we're mixing all of this together. My 9/11 may not be their 9/11, but we're still dealing with different 9/11s. Tiara had talked about the school shootings. You all, we have so many things that are going on in our world. COVID. We are in a world of uncertainty. But I want to encourage you today, as you listen to this podcast, God is still faithful, and God is still able to do exceedingly abundantly above anything that we can ask or think. Let us not allow fear to come in, but let us hold on to our faith. Let us stick together like these 9/11 things have brought us together. It has taught us how to love one another. It has taught us how to support. It has taught us how to stop looking at the color of our skin and come in and assist and aid where we need to aid. And I pray that we continue, even in our pandemic today. Let us stay together. How good and how pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. When things happen in our American world, the greatest thing that I love that we know how to do, and that is to come together And when we come together, we pray one for another. And let us always pray for our country. Let us always pray for our president. Let us pray for those that have ruler over us. And while we're going through this day and we are memorizing all of the things that have happened, all of the things that will cause tears and all of the things that will cause a heavy heart, I want you to know that we are praying, we are still seeking God and saying, Lord, have mercy upon our country. Heal our land. Heal us everywhere we hurt.